I got the invitation to go on this Armed Lutheran radio show, though. You know this guy? Have you seen this? There's two things that I would like to say that make me feel safe. Number one, the fact that there is a radio show called the Armed Lutheran Podcast somewhere in the world. That makes me feel safe.
Bringing you law, gospel, and guns. This is Armed Lutheran Radio.
Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Armed Lutheran Radio, a show about guns, hunting, competitive shooting, the natural right of self-defense, and what God's Word says about the issues surrounding gun rights and gun ownership. I am your host, Lloyd Bailey, the Armed Lutheran, and this is episode number 450. Thank you so much for making Armed Lutheran Radio a part of your week again this week. This week, the long-awaited and long-overdue online hangout with members of the Reformation Gun Club. Armed Lutheran Radio is, as I have mentioned many times, but I will do it again, we are listener funded. We don't have any advertising. We don't have any sponsors. We rely on the people you will see tonight and many others to help pay the bills and keep the lights on and make this train keep rolling down the tracks. If you would like to, to support the show and help us continue to create the kind of content that we create, and if you would like to be invited to these kinds of hangouts, then come join reformationgunclub.com. You can go to the website armedlutheran.us /gun club, or you can go to the website, look in the menu for Reformation Gun Club, click on that. It will take you to all the information about the gun club, and then move you over to Give, Send, Go, which is a Christian-based crowdfunding organization. They handle all of our crowdfunding and our donations. They do not engage in any kind of viewpoint discrimination, which I like, and they are faith-based, which I like, and so we certainly appreciate what they do. And for any amount that you deem necessary, you deem fit to provide, we appreciate every penny that is donated to us to keep things going. So again, armedlutheran.us /gun club, or look for a link in the show notes for any of our previous episodes, or this one, if you're listening along, or if you're watching on YouTube. This will be, this episode 450 is going to be both in video format on YouTube and audio format on Sunday at our regular time. It's not over yet, but we have been working through my book, Duty to Defend, the second edition, over the last 16 weeks, I guess it's been, and going through the chapters in the book. And I've been reading from the book and giving you some context as to where the idea for these chapters came from. If you would like to get a copy, there are still signed copies available. Again, armedlutheran.us /books to get a signed copy, or you can get one on Amazon. It's a little less expensive if you order from my website as opposed to Amazon, and you get a signed copy for less, and more of what you pay for the book actually goes to support the show. So armedlutheran.us /books, or armedlutheran.us /duty if you would prefer to get a copy through Amazon, and read along as we do the episodes on the chapters in the book. And that's been a lot of fun. Things have been crazy. The reason that this particular episode is so late, that why it's been so long since we've done an online hangout, is just because of work and life. Very busy job. I'm in charge of 3 major projects going on all at the same time, all of which were supposed to be going, well, 2 of the 3 were supposed to be finishing up and going live this month. And they didn't. They've been pushed to next month. So, yay. but also the silly season for volleyball. My daughter plays club volleyball, and the silly season, as I call it, the really busy part of the season is in the spring. But we moved. We had a death in the family back in North Carolina. We had, my work stuff, and we had the volleyball stuff going crazy. And now some of that is settled down. The work stuff has not, but at least volleyball is tapered off for the summer, and the family drama is behind us. So getting back to sort of normal. So we're trying to. I'm hoping we'll get a monthly online hangout back underway after this month. Hopefully we'll have one in July, August, etc. That's a long way of saying thank you for your patience. I am really glad to be back and to be able to be together with all of you and to be with members of the Reformation Gun Club. And it's time to introduce them now. The traveling man, Stuart Burt.
There he is.
There he is. The traveling man himself.
Yeah. But I got a cold out of the deal. And I have to preach Sunday.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I won't be chanting, needless to say. Don't like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Those people don't like it. It's the fill in for a church that the pastor died last year.
Oh, okay.
So
you're
oh well, it's all good.
You're the interim.
No, I'm just
feeling.
I told him I can't do that anymore after health stuff.
Yeah.
But I got a new card. See that?
I did.
Yeah. It's not as cool looking as the red one, but oh well.
Oh well.
It gets me down the road.
Remind me what happened to the old one?
I was driving on Blue Angel. I had gone out to vote early because I was going on a Caribbean cruise.
Right.
And come to the stop light and everybody stopped. The car stopped all on its own, did everything perfectly. Thank you, Elon. And this stupid woman plowed into me and flipped her car. She got to take the helicopter to Sacred Heart Hospital.
Oh, no.
Lucky her. Yeah. I don't know how she is. I don't know if she has a criminal record.
Did she have a Biden sticker?
Rednecks.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you are in Florida.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Just
you are in Texas.
Another member of the Lutheran. I'm reading the shirt. All right. I like it. How are you, Rob? Long time no see. You're muted. Okay.
I'm doing all right. Yeah, I've got several chuckles out of this shirt today. This popped up in my feed from some random little church in the middle of Iowa. And I guess their women's league got annoyed by all of the charities that were getting accused of stuff earlier this year. So they came up with this T-shirt in protest. I just think it's hilarious. And one of the guys in the seminary class said that he was on a band. He had a garage band called the Lutheran Crime Syndicate. So that cinched the deal. So
that's perfect.
Yeah.
I like it. So what have you been up to? We've got a heck of a lot of catching up to do. I'm actually hoping that we don't get too many people in here because it'll take forever to catch up. It's been way too long.
Well, you moved and I've moved. So I think the last time I caught you guys, I was still over in Mascoutah, Illinois.
You were in Mascoutah.
Yeah, now we're over on the free side of the river and over on the west side of St. Louis.
Okay.
Finished up my second year of seminary, and I start my vicarage next month.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, made it. But
where are y'all headed to?
Luckily, not very far. They took pity on me since I've moved 17 times in 23 years. I got that check in the block already. So we're going to Our Savior Lutheran in St. Charles, Missouri, and it's only about a 20-minute drive from our house, so it's nice.
So you don't have to move or anything.
Not at the moment.
It's drivable.
Yeah. We requested a local vicarage because my poor soon-to-be fifth grader has already been in 5 different elementary schools thanks to the Navy. It's a combination of the Navy, COVID, and seminary. The poor kid needed a break.
Use a little stability in his life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So one of the things I wanted to kind of get everybody's catching up on, one of the things, there's been some news, in case you hadn't noticed, there's been some big changes in the country in the last, since last we were together. And I wanted to get everybody's take on, I was hoping we would do this around the first 100 days, but I think we're a little past that now. But your thoughts on the overall thoughts on the progress of the Trump administration to this point, and then what do your favorite thing about it and your least favorite? Stuart, I'll let you go first.
Securing the border is a good thing. The instability of his tariff regime isn't that great. It creates too much unknown, and markets don't like that. Companies can't do anything with it. Neither can countries. Congress needs to take that back. I know they did that 100 years ago or whatever it was, but I think that's my two.
Overall positive, overall negative. What are you?
I
know you weren't
the big Trump.
Ace Trump.
He's a New York. He's a Democrat, and he's always been a Democrat. He's still a Democrat. Some of these policies, this drug policy, is disgusting. You don't have to like pharmaceutical industry, but they do provide a decent service. We do get more research done in the United States than anywhere else. They don't do any research in Europe anymore. They definitely don't do it in Canada. It's all done in the United States, and it costs money. I'm sure there'll be people who say I'm just there for the pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have any stock in any of them.
You think is that just a populist thing, you think, or is this partly driven by sort of a backlash against the pharmaceutical companies over the COVID stuff?
I think people are partially populist, but the other thing is backlash about the lockdowns. Instead of blaming where should be blamed, the governments, the imperial government and the local governments. Excuse me. Sorry. They're getting mad at somebody that's easy target. And since big companies are easy targets by the communists of the world, they don't like profitable opportunities. They don't like free enterprise. They don't like capitalism. And so I don't care which side, whether you can call yourself a so-called conservative or a leftist Democrat. You want things done, private enterprise is where it's at, not this stupid Uncle Sugar knows what's best for us. If we didn't learn that from the lockdowns, what did we learn? Nothing.
Fair enough.
That's my 2 cents or more. I did buy a piece of gold in Alaska, by the way. A little nugget.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're independently wealthy now.
No, I'm not. I had to buy a new Tesla after 6 months.
Oh, okay. That's where the gold nugget went.
The gold nugget's in my gun safe.
All right, Rob. Same question for you. Overall thoughts, and then what do you like? What do you not?
Oh, wow. Well, since it's a relative scale, I guess it's better than the alternative.
That's yeah.
That's
What
a
we're
seminary
finding out
answer.
about
Yeah.
about who was or wasn't running the country.
Yeah, it's I've been a big believer in no tariff has ever done any good thing, but as much as I'm kind of torn because I appreciate the chaos that it injected into the system because it shook a bunch of things loose. Like it rattled Europe's between the tariffs and Trump's hit and miss, or like every other 2 weeks, it's a different policy on Ukraine. It's got Europe shook up enough to actually spend some money on their own defense. Now, I just wish I could give him credit for that he did it on purpose. I'm not sure. So,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of good things that have happened that I wish I could honestly give him credit for, but I'm just not sure there's anybody that really knows what's going on. So it's I don't know.
I've never been a big believer in the 4D chess thing.
Yeah.
I think a good bit of it is hit or miss. I think the way he trolls the media is absolutely 4D chess.
Yes, I will grant him that. He actually just that's one thing I do appreciate. I don't like the man personally. Every evangelical type that thinks he's the next greatest thing to Christianity is smoking crack. But I don't know. I really like the way he just really doesn't care about his political career because
why should he?
Why should he? So, what little filter he had between brain and mouth has apparently crumbled. And I don't know. There's a part of me that just likes to watch the world burn. And, there's a lot of it that a good dumpster fire can clean out a lot of garbage. So there's plenty of that to go around. I'm kind of sad that the whole Musk thing didn't quite produce as much as it could have, but yeah. I think it got a lot of people turning and burning and thinking about things that they took for granted before, which that's got to have some positive benefits in the long run.
Yeah, I think I would like to see the Musk stuff go further. I knew he had to at some point was going to have to sort of step away and focus on business. And hey, John is here. The pistol packing Padre. I knew he was going to have to pull himself away at some point. I didn't realize it would be the way it was, of that kind of, breakup that they had really publicly and ugly. But I really wish he was able to, I don't know how much of the Doge thing is still going on or is going to roll forward, but I really hope we can find more than $175 billion worth of savings, because it's out there. We're wasting a ton of money on stuff we don't need and nobody voted for. But then to turn around with a big beautiful bill and spend $1 trillion more than we have is, I can understand why Musk got a little huffy about that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay. I saved us a penny. Now we're going to spend $10.
Well, I'll be right back. I got to go turn my water off. I'm filling up my hot tub. I cleaned it out today.
Ooh, okay.
I don't want to flood everything.
Let's see. Get John in here. I may have accidentally muted you, Rob. I was trying to mute Stuart just in case. You never know what might happen when he's away from the computer, so.
That's fair. That reminded me of I don't know if you've heard of Jack Spirko. He has the survival podcast. I used to listen to him a lot. He's he's a bit esoteric, but he's entertaining at least. But he used to joke around that all these people were getting up in an uproar about whatever the topic of the day was, and he's like, that doesn't even change the temperature of my pool 1 degree, like, like it doesn't even change the temperature of my hot tub.
Just speaking of hot tubs,
right?
John, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
On the road again. What are you up to?
On the road again. Well, today is district convention, and I scooted away from the convention to go with the family to check out a pup at an animal shelter.
Oh, very cool.
So we had to put down our Tucker a week ago, and it's been kind of tough, and the house has felt kind of empty since. So.
And I'm sure
we're getting a puppy.
Very good. New chaos for your house.
Yeah. Welcome to the chaos.
Well, it has been yonks since we were together. What's been happening besides the unfortunate recent news? What's been happening with you?
Not a whole lot. Just been busy. Normal pastor stuff. Biggest thing is that my oldest daughter just graduated from high school, and she was class valedictorian, so we're really proud of her for that.
Awesome.
Congrats. That's great.
She's heading off for college. Thank you. She's also just finished tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of CNA training, and so she can't take her test though till August to get her CNA. But that's what she's going to. I'm sure she's going to be working in colleges and coming back from school break. She'll be able to work and at least put away some money to pay for college.
Nice.
That's great. My daughter's also, she's just about, she's going into her junior year in college, and she's been a CNA since she was 16, because up in Wisconsin, that's the cutoff date for that state. And oh my gosh, she makes some decent money, especially for, a high school or college kid.
Yeah, no kidding. She's going to be 25 or 26 an hour. So for a high school college kid, that's good money. Plus, it looks really good when she goes to apply for medical school after she finishes her MCATs and all that. Usually, that's like junior year. Sometime they do that. So
it'll give her some clout with the nurses she's going to be working with too, because she's been there, done that a little bit.
Right.
Nice.
And also gives her that aspect. Well, a lot of times nurses feel like the doctors take them for granted. So I think it will give her a really good perspective.
Nice. Yeah, my daughter's thinking about something in the medical field. She can't, not doctor, but something. And there's tons of opportunities around here. So I'll have to put that bug in her ear.
And my wife's a midwife, but she went the certified nurse midwife route. Okay. And that kind of got Clara interested. That's my eldest daughter. But the midwife hours are just too much for her. So she's going to be she's looking to go on the physician's assistant route.
Okay. Nice. Well, I will put the question that I've already put to the other guys to you, John. Okay. I was hoping we would be able to get together somewhere around the 100 days, but we're a little past that now. So what I thought, your thoughts on the Trump second Trump administration to this point, and your favorite thing about it so far and your least favorite.
If I was going to grade on A, B, C, D, F scale, I give him a strong A minus, B plus right now. I mean, compared to the first Trump administration, this is a completely different Trump. He is worlds better than he was. I think it's pretty clear that he learned from a lot of his mistakes. I think his biggest mistakes first time around was trusting the wrong people. Favorite thing right now would definitely have to be what he's doing with immigration. It makes me really sad to see I'm from Los Angeles, and to see it be burning again. But that in itself, I mean, you look for the good and the bad, and this is an emperor's clothes moment where sane people in the world, they take a look at politicians defending the actions of rioters, and I'm sure that brings a lot of memories back from 2020. So it's these idiot politicians are destroying their political future. It's like Gavin Newsom. It's pretty clear he's running for the nomination in 2028, and he can't get out of his own damn way. He's his own worst enemy.
The more they talk about this, the recent spate of riots, the more they talk about it, the more they're just creating. Seems to me they're just creating commercials for Republicans.
Yeah. When you have guys on the news talking about, it was just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn, and I think it was Brian Stelter was talking about. These are the cries of hope. It's like the inmates are running the asylum. It's pretty clear from that. I think just seeing the fallout from that is probably my least favorite thing. And unlike the liberal psychopaths in California, I'm not blaming Trump for these riots. This is the fault of a lawless state.
Yeah. I mean, California is proving that they're as close to a failed state as you can get in the United States at this point. They refuse to enforce their own laws, crap in the streets. They don't provide enough water to put out fires, watch everybody's homes burn down, and invite in and pay for all of this chaos, and then complain when somebody tries to do something about it. It's like they're not even trying to win another election.
Right. It's like, they keep doing this, and we're going to be going through an entire generation of Republican control. If I had to really dogpile on Trump for one thing, it would probably be his promise to require IVF to be funded by health insurance. Both from an economic standpoint, that's an incredibly expensive procedure, but from a moral standpoint, that there's a lot of unborn that are destroyed because of IVF.
And that gets to something that Stuart was saying earlier, and I've thought about a lot. Trump's not a conservative. He does conservative things, but by and large, he's never been a Republican or a conservative. He's a Republican, truly a Republican in name only. He has been a Democrat his entire life. His policies, social policies, have always been to the left of center. So I'm not terribly surprised about the IVF thing. But
I would label him he's a pragmatic populist.
Yeah.
And he looks at everything as a business proposition. I think he's got a moral compass of sorts, but it's, if something is considered morally scrupulous by a certain element of the electorate, like IVF, he's going to weigh that against the odds of, okay, how many of those people are not going to support me if I do this versus how many people who might be more liberal on life issues are going to be supporting me because I'm doing this who wouldn't have supported me otherwise.
Yeah. And that's probably where the point that Stuart brought up earlier about the pharmaceutical prices, that's part of where that comes from too.
Right.
It's like, okay, how can I do the thing that's popular but not necessarily grounded in any kind of real moral worldview? What about the Epstein stuff? Any we were told we were going to get the Epstein list. We got the Epstein list, the Epstein files. We got exactly what we already knew. Then they said, "Oh, somebody was conspiring to prevent that from getting out," and we're looking into it. And we're still looking into it.
I know that they were pointing fingers at the U.S. Attorney for New York. They have Elon had tweeted that stupid thing. The reason we haven't seen them is because Trump was in there. If there were any Epstein files that implicated Trump in anything,
oh my gosh, they would be
the
all
Biden administration, that would have been their campaign day in and day out. There's absolutely nothing there, because if there were, Trump would not be in the White House right now, because that would have been front page news for 4 years straight.
Yeah.
So that's just a stupid proposition. Anybody who believes that is either a moron or they're believing it because they want it to be true. I would suspect that if we have not seen, I'm sure there are some files. If they have not been released yet, I would guess that there's some pretty involved people, pretty high up people that are implicated, and I would guess they're working through the legalities of that before they release it. The other question is, how many of these files have been destroyed already?
Yeah.
We're in the era of electronic documents, and it's a lot harder to scrub electronic documents. If you only have one physical copy of something, it's a lot easier to destroy it.
True. Rob, you or Stuart want to weigh in on that one? Your thoughts on that?
Sounds just like one big red herring to me.
I wondered why they made that big deal out of releasing what they did release. Was that just the 4D chess distracting everyone with something, and then everybody's focused on, oh, well, there's nothing in here, and then in the meantime, something else is going on that nobody's paying attention to?
It sounds less like 4D chess and more like little kids soccer. Like, just toss the ball in the direction you want all the little kids to run.
Was it just a photo op gone wrong?
Oh boy, did it. Yeah. That had to be kind of embarrassing. I don't know why they thought it wouldn't be an absolute bomb. I mean, they had to know that this was what they were giving us was not revelation. So, there's been a lot of talk lately about the big, beautiful bill and the removal of suppressors from the NFA. Think that's going to happen? Because now, and of course, Democrats are all on the Hill, having press conferences talking about only criminals use suppressors, and this is all about making sure that criminals get, their $900, $1,200 suppressors.
I just want to see somebody try and demonstrate the old potato suppressor thing and just watch it explode in their face. They just got to have it on camera, though. It's just silly. I appreciate the fact that they're trying to get it done by just removing the cost. Like, I was listening to a Cam and Company the other day, and they had somebody on there that was like, we really need to put in, remove it completely from the NFA. But the bill they were trying to push it through was a dedicated monetary bill. So it made sense to me that they were just removing the cost of it. So okay, that's a step in the right direction in my mind. And you certainly don't want to start attaching non-fiscal things to fiscal bills, because that Pandora's box will never get closed if they open that one up.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's a step in the right direction. If it didn't cost $200 just for a little stamp, I might actually think about getting one, because I appreciate just the neighborly side of it.
Yeah, and there's the, what does it take, 6 months to get your form approved by the ATF? There's all the waiting and the forms and the fingerprints and all that stuff. Why can't?
Oh my gosh, I've moved 3 times by the time that gets cleared. Why
can't you just go to the gun shop, fill out your 4473, pay for your suppressor, and go home? It just doesn't make any sense that it's any.
If they want to have the suppressor as a serialized item, so that's probably where it would end up if it came off the NFA. Right. But the arguments of, well, then criminals are going to get their hands on them. If criminals want them, they're going to be buying the catfish scheme ads that you see on Facebook. But they call it like a oil filter adapter or whatever, and they're going to be doing that. Yep. And I think there's also the misconception that they're quote unquote silencers, that they, like the movies where it's just a little, that's all you hear.
Pew, pew.
No, it just reduces the sound to something that's safe for hearing.
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and I don't know. I don't think a smash and grab guy is really concerned about noise.
Yeah. I don't think he cares about the noise. I don't think he's going to want to put another pound of weight. I have to go out and buy a barrel that is threaded to take a suppressor, then put $900 into a suppressor that adds that much to his gun and try to conceal it. It doesn't make any sense. They don't even like the braces. They don't even like there's a point that somebody made when they were talking about this the other day, that criminals don't even like the little arm brace things because they can't conceal that. So why are they going to put a big suppressor on the end of their handgun? They don't care about that stuff. Whatever's quick, whatever's cheap, that's what they're going to use. And by taking it off the NFA is not going to make it any cheaper to buy. I might save you $200 in the hassle of the tax stamp paperwork, but it's still going to end up being another $1,000 for a suppressor that the criminals are not.
If anything, suppressor prices might go up.
Yes.
Suppressor manufacturers might figure, well, hey, they're saving $200 on the price of the suppressor, so I'm going to add on an extra $100.
Yep. Will.i.am is with us, and he is not in a car as he was the last 3 times I think we saw you. You're actually not moving for a change. What's up with you?
Just had a cigar with my father-in-law.
Nice.
Yeah, they're in town here in Bentonville and heading back on Saturday. So a nice opportunity.
Nice. Where are they in from?
California.
Oh, okay.
Back in my old neck of the woods.
Not anywhere near all the mayhem, I hope.
Nothing. Well, they fly into San Jose, and there's supposed to be some activity out that way, but nothing real close.
All right. So what is new with you aside from hanging out with Dad?
So
it's been a minute since we've been together, right?
It's been a minute. And I was so excited when we were going to do a late December, and then the January and February got pushed back further and further. We actually left for about 9 weeks, and we started out where did we start out? Amsterdam. And then we hit Luxembourg, and then we hit something else that I'm drawing a blank on. Then we went to Italy, and we were all over Italy. And we went to Rome. And then after Rome, we went to France, back to the farm. And then we were in Dublin, Ireland for 4 days before hitting Massachusetts to hang out with my brothers. And then we came back to Bentonville.
Good grief. So you and Stuart have been burning up the the roads and the airways and the waterways.
Where was Stuart?
You were on
I took the
Another
train
cruise?
from New Orleans to Los Angeles before it
Cool.
erupted. And then the Starlight to Eugene, where I saw my cousin, and then up to Tacoma, where I saw some friends, and then Norwegian Joy. Ship's okay. Food marginal. To Alaska cruise.
Nice.
And then I came back and took the Empire Builder to Chicago, and then visited a friend in Beloit, Wisconsin. And then came to the city of New Orleans, out back to New Orleans.
Nice.
It was. Of course, being old and decrepit, I had a roomette. I guess if I was really old, I would have had a room, but I'm not that old. Right, John?
He's got to unmute now.
Sorry, yeah. I heard you.
All right. Well, Will, it's your chance to answer the question we've been discussing, which is just sort of your thoughts on the Trump administration, second Trump administration to this point, and one thing you like and one thing you don't.
Well, to summarize all of it, yes, I voted for that. So much of which I've seen, read in the news and all that. Yes, it's the kind of stuff that I've been looking forward to. Not everything, of course. I love the idea of Doge. I love how he hijacked the Obama administration's whatever that was that Obama created to try to fix the totally inept Obamacare website debacle. And all he really did was rebrand the USD, whatever it was, and turn it into the US Doge administration, whatever that happens to be. So that was genius. I loved how he did that. Really wish that Musk and his team had been able to find more and do something about it, because it sounds like they found a lot and we didn't get enough good answers for it, but not a lot of action's been taken on long-term cuts that are actually going to impact for, let's just say, a decade or more. So I'd sure like to see a lot more cuts. I'd sure like to see.
And he's been fighting the courts to get some of that stuff done too, which is annoying.
Yep. I'm curious whether the conspiracies are true, that this whole falling out of the bromance between Musk and Trump, whether that's just something that they planned to do to
part of the 4D chess.
Just 4D chess to make a whole lot of grief and drama to get people talking, only for everything to pan out just fine. And it was more just like what Rush Limbaugh used to call his media tweak. He would always say something. He's like, now they're going to be talking about this tomorrow, and he'll say something that's going to be taken completely out of context. So I'm wondering if it has something to do kind of like that. But anything he can do to restore, not expand, but restore Second Amendment freedoms, that's a good thing. I love that he got rid of the Department of Education so far, what he did. Hopefully, a lot of that's going to move back to states, and states are going to take a lot more interest in doing what their people need in order to fix a lot of the other woke nonsense.
Yeah, as much as possible, as much as we can send back to the states, aside from the military and national security, I'm all for it. What aside from the little breakup, is there anything that you've seen that you really didn't like, that concerns you, or anything like that?
Let's see, concerns. Well, early on when he picked Bondi, she was going to be questionable at best. So far, what I have seen what I have seen out of her, I've mostly liked. But there's this very weird thing that's going on between Bondi, between Bongino, and all of the Epstein files. Like, we don't need to know how many nasty files that you guys are going to slowly work your way through to try to protect the innocent. I get all that. Where's the list? Where's the arrest?
Give us the client list. Yeah.
We want to see heads roll or something, because he was arrested. He was charged, and conceivably he had clients who he was peddling these very innocent children to. And yes, by all means, protect the innocent, but bring out the list, whoever is on it. Bring them all out, parade them out with as much of all of the evidence lined up, and nail those suckers to a wall. I'm furious that we have yet to see any legitimate movement on that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, John was thinking that maybe they're going through the legalities of releasing some of those names, trying to be careful not to jeopardize any of the cases that they might bring against them, or end up with lawsuits against maybe there's a name on a list and you put it out there and it's not valid, and then you end up essentially slandering somebody. I don't know whether they're just being extra careful about that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's annoying that we haven't gotten more, and we got that big show and then nothing happened. And
then Bongino was like, before he was hired, he was one of the loudest critics, like, bring us the names, and did he really kill himself? And now we get this kind of half-hearted attempt at saying, well, yeah, I saw the files, and yeah, he really did kill himself. Well, you know what? We want to know for our own eyes. We want to judge that for ourselves. Up until he said that, I had a lot of faith in the guy. I was really hoping he was going to be a bulldog, get in there, make things happen, and really hold people accountable. And now we just got to take his word for it too. Like, everything about how he ended up dead.
On Rogan recently, and he basically said, yeah, I've seen the video, and yeah, that he killed himself. And of course, nobody believes that. And the question you've got to ask yourself is, how does a guy who was already on the suicide watch list allowed to have anything that you could possibly kill yourself with?
Yes.
Like,
and someone fell asleep on the shift or something.
Answer our questions so we don't have all these stupid conspiracy theories.
They could squash so much of that nonsense.
As far as the way they did Suicide Watch, there is different than what I'm used to. Suicide Watch, you had an officer keeping their eyes on the person 24/7 when they're on Suicide Watch. When I worked at the ICE facility, so yeah, same with it's
Stuart, was that one-on-one, like person to person? Because that's how we did it in the military too. It was one for one if you were on Suicide Watch.
Yeah.
I think that's how the military has done it, going back to Nuremberg, right? I mean, they had one guy standing at the door of your cell and making sure you were not endangering yourself so that you could stand trial.
And I when I was working at the Wyoming State Penitentiary decades ago, we had a guy who he wasn't on Suicide Watch, but he slit his arm open pretty good. He did it the right way. There was blood everywhere. It was interesting. John, you would have liked it. I know you like blood and guts. But anyway, he lived. But if a person wants to kill themselves, they can do it. If they're not one-on-one, it's according to the videos, constantly. There was nobody in the hallway, which seems like their system was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Broken. Right. Well, no, it sounds like their system was broken and not doing the best job for my will. I will. That's just the way it comes across to me, that they messed. Where was he? Rikers Island or downtown?
I don't even.
If I remember correctly, he was downtown at the Metro Holding Facility. I'm willing to concede that he killed himself, but I am of the opinion that he was permitted to do so.
That seems fair.
Hey, Will, I gotta ask, what's in the Glencairn?
This is Woodford Reserve.
Nice. That works.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
We know John's not drinking, or at least we hope he's not.
Better not be.
Oh, I did bring a flask along. It is a convention after all.
He has an IV going in.
What I noticed you had something going on, Rob. What do you got?
Oh, it's a rusty nail.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Is that a drink I'm unfamiliar with?
Yes.
It's what is it?
Scotch and Drambuie.
Drambuie, yeah, Drambuie and Scotch.
What is Drambuie?
It's a Scotch liqueur.
It's an herbal liqueur, yeah.
Okay, my favorite liqueur is, I've only been able to find it at one place, and that's the Dubliner Hotel in DC. And from what those folks tell me is that they buy their Irish whiskey from a particular distillery in Ireland under the Dubliner name for that hotel. And they've got a honey liqueur that is so smooth. And it's not like Southern Comfort kick you in your teeth with all the sweetness. It's just a really nice, enjoyable, sweet whiskey.
That sounds like an Irish version of Drambuie.
Okay. Then I have some idea of what you're talking about.
So Drambuie is sweet and not like drinking a
Lagavulin.
I'm sorry?
It's not like Lagavulin, the really peaty stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, this is definitely not a peat monster. The Drambuie, it's interesting because it is the liqueur. It's got the sweetness, but it's still 40% alcohol, so it'll sneak up on you.
All right.
Especially since you do it 1-to-1.
I'm more like it's a little too sweet for me. I'd take about probably 2-to-1, 2 Scotch, 1 Drambuie, just to kind of make it not have my teeth jumping out of my mouth because it's so sweet.
I went into, we decided to do, I decided to surprise the wife with margaritas for Mother's Day and went over to our local liquor store, and which is called Local, by the way. Interesting choice of names, but kind of spot
West
on.
Texas.
They must be Lutheran, just as we're just not creative enough to come up with different names for all of our churches. They're all Zion or St. Paul or something.
There's a saint in there somewhere. But anyway,
St. Mary.
Yes. Well, there is a St. Mary in the in Ray Keating's books. And I don't know whether it's a real church.
There's St. Mary in Wittenberg. That's where.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was probably Catholic first.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. I think they all were, weren't they?
We don't throw the Virgin out with the bathwater.
That's
good point. Good point.
Very true.
We admire her for being a Theotokos. Oh, seminarian.
Hey, I know that one.
Of course you do.
Oh, we're quizzing.
You're going to the
Seminarian.
Other seminary where they might teach you something like that. Maybe.
Every once in a while.
Not the cool one, right, John?
Well, there's also St. Catherine's in Canada.
Right.
Okay.
And that's the name of their seminary up there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not cool enough to hang out with the Preußes.
Is that where they're from?
No, but that's where they all seem to go.
Yeah, well, because that's where their grandfather was.
Oh, okay.
Jacob Preuss. And that's where their dad went.
I've lost track of all the Preußes. There's so many of them.
Yeah. They're Norwegians. They breed like rabbits. What do you expect? They're Norwegians. Hey, you remember Swenson, the Danish exchange student, John?
Vaguely.
Yeah, well, this is all from him. You know, he always called the Norwegians mountain monkeys and things like that. And everybody else is a breakaway Danish colony. So
Rapidly offending all of our Norwegian listeners.
Yeah, what Norwegian listeners?
Exactly. But I walked into the store, and because I was out of for some reason I had gone into the pantry, and I have the overflow bottle of vodka parked in there, which you don't need, by the way, for margaritas. And I just happened to notice that it was kind of low. Somehow in my brain that stuck. So when I went to get tequila, I told them, I'm making margaritas. I need some vodka. And the kid who was working the counter was like, right this way, sir. And he comes and he shows me and he makes some recommendations. And then about halfway back to the register, the manager comes out and says, did I hear you say you wanted margaritas? And I said, yes. He said, with vodka? And I was like, oh. He was like, that's a bold choice. If that's up to you, it's a bold move, but I would not recommend it.
It's like a subtle move.
Did you squeeze your own limes and do it properly?
No, they gave me, but they gave me a locally made a mixer that is made from real lime, and it was phenomenal.
I thought you wanted to impress your wife.
I did.
From now on,
it actually worked.
It doesn't take that many limes to squish, and you can make really nice margaritas. I've done it. Took them to church.
I cheated, and I got the pre-mix stuff, not the powdery stuff. I got or not the what is it, Don Juan or Don Carlo or whatever that stuff is that in all the grocery stores. This is like locally made. It was great.
Nice. So
anyway, and I have no idea what it was called because we all were smashed
happy.
In our faces. Yes, happy. Yes,
happy. That's the word.
That's exactly the word. All right. Any last thoughts? We're rolling up towards the top of the hour. I promise we're going to do this more often, and I apologize that it has taken so long to get us here. And I'm glad that we were able to get back together. Things are kind of mellowing out around here with work. Work is still.
You have one less daughter to worry about.
Do what?
You have one less daughter to take to sporting events.
I only have one.
All right, one less now if she's going off to college.
No, not yet.
No.
That's my daughter that's going off to college.
That's John. I've still got 3 more years.
Okay. Never mind. Sorry. I'm old.
What did I say?
And I'm drinking Irish whiskey.
So I forgot to mention, I was more thinking about all the places we went right after Christmas.
Oh, there's more.
Right before Christmas, the safety team and I at church went to the range because we hadn't been to the range together in many months. And when I was at the range, they also have a gun counter. And I walked over there, and for $400, I picked up the new Ruger RXM.
Ooh. And what do you think?
It's amazing. I like it a lot. And I didn't have a chance to shoot it before we left the country. And I came back at the very tail end of February and rolled right into being crazy busy. Mm-hmm. And I just hadn't been out to the range yet. So it didn't make it into my rotation. And then finally, 2 weekends ago, I took my 15-year-old and we did an IDPA match. And basically fresh out of the box, haven't shot it a single time. And I went through 150 rounds and it was flawless.
Nice.
Not a single problem. Yeah.
Maybe that's you, Will. If I had done it would have been anything like that. I think that's got more to with your abilities.
This thing's been great. I have nothing but high marks for it.
The RXM is essentially a Glock clone.
Yeah. Glock 19.
Yeah. That's why. That's why it was Glock, whatever he did, it for all the people making fun of the whole perfection moniker, they just work. They're reliable as the sun coming up every morning. It's fantastic.
Well, if Ruger did what they normally do and just make it so you can drive a truck over it, it still works. I can see a combination of Glock and Ruger just being phenomenal.
Yeah, well, so the RXM is Ruger, and then the X is by Magpul. So Magpul makes the handgun grip. They call it an EHG for enhanced handgun grip. And for $40, I can take the gray grip that I got, and let me just pull it out real quick. It is the 1911 grip angle, and you can see it's rather empty now.
Grooves and
no finger grooves. It's got the undercut trigger, a little smoother here. Fits in all my Glock 19 mags, or not mags, holsters, and of course the Glock. I'm using a Glock branded one, but I've got all the different sizes of the Magpul, and it came with 2 Magpul 15-round magazines. It's pre-cut for RMR, RSC. I don't know what all the footprints are, but it works for 3 different footprints. And you don't
have to put plates in there either, do you?
No, it just works. They have it pre-cut for a number of configurations. So I can pull that off. The sights are black in the rear and it's like a tritium in the front. Works really, really well. It's got the go fast, whatever they call that shelf up there for your thumb.
Right.
I'm not left-handed, so I don't normally hold it like this, but anyway.
Right. So you got the memory pads, and you got the cocking serrations at the front, which Glock for some reason never would do.
So love that. The trigger is just so much better than a Glock trigger. It comes down just like Glock, because that's the pattern. But they did what SIG has been doing for a long time, and this whole unit here, you can see the trigger group is what they call a fire control insert, and you pop that puppy out, and for $40, I can change the color of this. I mean, obviously you can change slides. The Glock slides fit on it just fine. The Palmetto State dagger slides fit on it just fine. They're really interchangeable. And I did see Ruger on their website has 4 different colors in the Glock 19 size. Magpul on their website has the same 4 colors, but they've also got the Glock 26 size grip. So it'll chop off 3/4 of an inch down here or so. Now It says coming soon, so they're not selling it yet, but you can get that with the dangly pinky and then use the +2 base pad to get a full grip, but have a smaller
and that's
grip
the thing
size
that people were wanting when they announced the 19X. Remember?
Yeah, they went full size instead of the other way.
They went the 17 size grip instead of the 26 size grip.
Now, granted, they still have a lot of military contracts, and a lot of military guys use them even if they're not contracted with them within their military. So if you're wearing gloves and you really want to have a full purchase on it, that does make sense.
Yeah.
But you also have the whole CCW segment of the market, and that's huge, at least in this country. And going the other way would make more sense. So I know that Magpul on their website already has it shown as an option coming soon.
For
$40.
When you said Glock with a 1911 grip angle, you sold me.
It's actually very nice. It's a little weird. I had to adjust my own grip because I'm used to the 19 angle, but yeah, they hit a home run.
The great thing is that, like you said, they went the SIG route and they made the fire control group the serialized part, so you could just swap it out. Like before, if you wanted to get that grip angle, you could get, what was it, Lone Wolf?
The Lone, and that looks so dorky.
It does look weird, but if you wanted that grip angle, you could get it, but you had to actually fill out a 40%
buy a gun, yes,
because that piece of plastic is serialized.
Yep.
I don't know why why Glock never went this route and let their competitors do it for them, basically.
I would gladly buy another one of these before I buy another Glock. So $400. It's got better texture. It's got the undercut trigger guard. It's got the cocking serrations, all in a Gen 3 with a 1911 grip angle. I mean, it's fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah,
So,
a lot of people take their Gen 3s and they're taking the Dremel out and they're scraping off the finger grooves, or they're undercutting the trigger themselves. I don't know why Glock has always been so slow to like do what the market seems to want. I guess because perfection.
Yeah, or something. I think they're going on volume. So any change that they make is going to mess their mojo. And so they're going to have to shut something down.
It's all new dies and new tooling and all that stuff. So they're already selling, unless sales dry up, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
They're not going to change. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up. We'll let you go. It's great to see all of you, and I really appreciate your patience, and I look forward to seeing you again. We'll do this. I promise we'll do it again next month. Get back into the routine, and we'll do it all again. We won't have to review 6 months of what in the world's been going on next time.
Yeah, Lloyd.
All right. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Hello, gentlemen.
See you all. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
For show notes, be sure to visit our website at www.armedlutheran.us. Check out the Facebook page, The Armed Lutheran, or join our Facebook group, Fans of Armed Lutheran Radio. If you like what you hear, please leave us a comment on our feedback page at armedlutheran.us/feedback, or a review on iTunes, and let us know what you think. Thank you for listening to Armed Lutheran Radio.